My name is Eli.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Caden. And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah YouTube channel.
And we can't get our act together, but we're trying. And we are happy that you are with us, and we thank you very much for spending some time with us here. And we are going over the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator on a list that is not an official list, but it is, I believe, a Jewish list. And we started and left off yesterday at 71.
72.
So because it's the way I'm having this labeled, it's 71. So I want to make sure that 71 is women must not wear men's clothes and men must not wear women's clothes. And so that's what we ended on. So we will officially begin here, 72, not to tattoo your skin.
All right.
Leviticus 19:28.
It says, and do not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor put tattoo marks on you. I am Yahuwah.
Okay, so
I mean, it's pretty simple. Don't carve yourself for the dead or put tattoos on your body.
yeah, and you shouldn't be a cutter either. 'Cause there's a lot of kids out there that have issues, and they will do crazy things like that, and they should not do that because we're not supposed to cut our skin or do any of that. So if you guys are one of those people that actually do that, it is a law that we should not. Okay, next one is Deuteronomy 14:1, not to tear your skin for idolatry or mourning.
You are the children of Yahuwah, your Elohim. Do not cut yourselves, nor shave the front of your head for the dead.
Okay, and that was also for 74 as well, not to shave your head in mourning. So, yeah, I mean, we're supposed to keep ourselves in a certain way. We're not supposed to do things of that nature. So, don't shave your head in mourning, and do not tear your skin when you're mourning either. And a lot of those guys do that, especially the guys that were doing that stuff for Baal. They would cut themselves and try to get Baal to listen to them. Okay, so the next one, 75, wrongdoers must correct their ways and confess before Yah. Numbers 5:7. Who's doing that? Okay, so wrongdoers must correct their ways and confess before Yahuwah. And we are waiting on Mr. Cade.
Then they shall confess their sin which they have done, and he shall restore his guilt in its principal, plus 1/5 of it, and give it to whom he has been guilty.
Okay, and so that's another command that if you are in the land, this is how to correct issues that you have had. Pretty self-explanatory one. 76, recite the central prayers twice daily and always study Torah wherever you are. That is not correct, I believe.
No.
That is a Jewish thing. And so 76, let's read it. Deuteronomy 6:7, let's read it.
It says, and you shall impress them upon, okay, I'm starting 6. And these words which I am commanding you today shall be in your heart. And you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. So it has nothing to do with central prayers.
Yeah.
That's probably Jewish.
And that is definitely a Jewish thing right there. But it is what we are supposed to do, right? And so, guys, explain that a little bit. I mean, we're supposed to talk about the Torah. We're supposed to be doing what we're doing right here.
Everything we do is about the Torah. It's supposed to recite it. We walk in the Torah. We sleep in the Torah. Everything we do is of the Torah.
Right, but it doesn't say anything about recite the central prayer.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
That might be where they pray towards Jerusalem.
I don't know. Could be. Anyway, don't do it. Eli, you need to get that fixed, please. 77. Serve Yahuwah and you will be blessed. Exodus 23:25.
And ye shall serve Yahuwah Elohim, and he shall bless you, and he shall bless your bread, your water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of you.
So, I mean, it's a self-explanatory one, but it is very important because our Creator, if He blesses us when we keep the laws, statutes, and commands of Him, and there's also if you don't keep them,
there's curses. The cursings you will.
Yeah, some of the worst curses you've ever had are the blessings you never ever received, and so it's very important that we are in the will of Yahuwah so that we will be blessed and we will get those blessings. All right, 78. The priests who are the sons of Aaron must bless the nation. Numbers 6:23.
So I'm going to read actually 22 through 27 because it's not just a simple thing here. It's actually a big command. It says, and Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, this is how you barak the children of Israel. Say to them, Yahuwah barak you and guard you. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahuwah lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Thus they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I myself shall barak them.
Okay, so what is that called?
That's called the priestly blessing.
It's called the Aaronic blessing, the priestly blessing. Right, and so when you guys get blessed in that same fashion, this is a blessing, and a lot of people don't understand what blessings are or how they work. But blessings, they do pass on, and blessings are completely possible. So that is how they were to bless the people, and so that is a command. 79. So this one's funky because this is Jewish too. It says to wear phylacteries, so the laws will be pennant on your forehead. So that is not actually a command, and I believe the phylacteries thing is a little piece of leather that the Jews will put up on their hands, and they twist a leather strap. And I think it might actually go up on their head or something. I don't know what it does, but it goes up their arm for sure. And so this is not correct. We need to fix this. But Deuteronomy 6:8 is what?
It says, and you shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes.
Right, and so 80 is the same thing right there, and it says to bind phylacteries so the laws will be a sign on your arm. So it doesn't say that. It's what exactly does it say?
It says, so this is about talking about the laws. We just talked about this one through in verse 6:8, how you're supposed to walk in them and rise in it. You're supposed to put them on your doorpost, and you're supposed to write them upon your eyes and your frontlets of your eyes and your hands.
Right.
It just says bind them as a sign. It doesn't say how to bind them, though. What does that mean by bind them on your hands?
Right. I think it's wear them upon your being that you have.
It's supposed to show your hands, supposed to show
in your heart. I mean, I don't know. I think they may have taken the phylacteries out of
maybe a little bit out of context.
Yeah. So I don't know. But it's the actual commandment is this is a set of commandments that we are supposed to keep the Torah, read the Torah, get up with the Torah, go to bed with the Torah. And then the next one right here, 81, to put up a mezuzah so that the laws will be on the doorpost of your house. So that's Deuteronomy 6:9. Who has that?
And I do. And you shall write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates.
Okay. And so a mezuzah is a little, what is a mezuzah?
So it's like this little box-like thing, or it can be like a little plate, but it has like the commandments on it. It has like sometimes a little scroll, sometimes it has like the 10 commandments on it, but it's like the commands, and you put it on your doorpost.
Yeah, and it's essentially that you are Yah's people. I mean, these are the signs of people that are Yah's people. And when you walk through the house of somebody's house, when there's a mezuzah up there, that house is, it's the house keeps the laws of God, or they would not be there. All right, so let's 82. Each male must write a Torah scroll. Deuteronomy 31:19. Who has that?
So this just says here, and now write down this song for yourselves and teach it to the children of Israel. Put it in their mouths so that this song is to me for a witness against the children of Israel. So this is a multiple chapter thing here. This is not just one chapter, but it has nothing to do with the males writing down Torah scrolls. This is actually a song, a thing that says it's supposed to remind them. There's something they're supposed to sing to remind them that they need to keep the Torah or they will get cursed.
Yeah, so Eli, change that 82 to they must learn a new song.
Right. Remember the song.
Write the song of remembrance.
Yeah. Okay, so 83. The king must write a second Torah scroll. Deuteronomy 17:18.
Deuteronomy 17:18 says, and it shall be, when he sits on the throne of his reign, that he shall write for himself a copy of this in a book, from the one before the Kohanim, the Levites.
Yeah, so what exactly did that say, Jade?
So it was for a king, when he became king over Israel, to write down a Torah. It was to help him remember through all his days as king, to write the Torah, so he knew all the laws so he command them over Israel what the laws were.
And that would be a lot of writing.
That would be, but he would know what to do and what not to do, and he would be able to walk in the right path.
Right, and so every commandment was every king of Yisrael should have written the Torah scroll.
And it wasn't something that was a one-day thing. It was something that lasted a long time, because Torah scrolls are huge. It takes a very long time to write them. So it was something that was supposed to be on his mind at all times, so we did not go astray.
Right. All right. So that takes us to 84, which is a cool verse. And it is to have tzitzits on the corner of your garments. Numbers 15:38.
Speak to the children of Israel, and you shall say to them, make tzitzit on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and to put a blue cord in the tzitzit of the corners.
Yeah, so a lot of people have said it's like a hem or something in the hem, but it's actually like a tassel. It is a blue and white tassel on the four corners of your garments, And the Jewish folks have like these things built into their clothes. Like you can actually attach tassels somehow to their clothes. I've never seen them myself. And how we do this, because I usually wear like sweatpants or cargo pants or some sort of stuff that we don't have four corners on there. So I have a webbed belt, and I attach the ZT to the four corners of the web belt, and I put the web belt on. And so I'm always walking around with my ZTs on. And if I have a shirt on, you would never know the difference if it's on the four corners or what. But that is how we deal with it, because we don't have the garments with it there. And everybody in our house, including my wife, has ZTs and wears ZTs. And it's part of the commandment. And where does this come from, folks, ZTs?
This comes...
What is the story behind ZTs?
It was to remind you that you need to follow the laws of God. So every time you had them, you look at them, they'd be on you. It would remind you that you followed the Torah.
Eli, what happened? What kind of uprising was happening?
So after this command happened, we don't know if it was exactly from this command or what exactly happened, but it was Korah who rebelled against Moshe because he wanted to be Yahuwah's right-hand man instead of Moshe, and him and his 250 men all got swallowed up by the earth.
Yeah, and so what did Moshe say? He said, hey, come bring the Holy of Holies, whatever you have, bring it as an offering onto this, whatever it is, and see if Yah accepts you. And the ground opened up and ate him, and that was the last bit of defiance, but we were supposed to be wearing tzitzits.
And that was the last we heard of Korah.
Yeah, that was the last, somewhere in the belly of the beast. 85, God bless God after meals. Okay, Deuteronomy 8:10.
And you shall eat and be satisfied, and shall barak Yahuwah your Elohim for the good land which he has given you.
Yeah, and so we always, that's just, that's everybody, prays before they eat. It says after meals, so that's obviously a good idea. To pray all the time, just pray without ceasing, so it shouldn't just be after meals. It should be as you wake and during the day and as you exist. Okay, 86. To circumcise every male on the 8th day, Leviticus 12:3.
So I'm going to start this in verse 1. It says, And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, When a woman has conceived and has given birth to a male child, and she shall be unclean 7 days, as in the days of her monthly separation she is unclean. And on the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin is circumcised.
Okay, so why is there circumcision? What does this mean?
It means you are of Israel, because all the Gentiles would not circumcise themselves.
Yeah, so it's a mark by our Creator, and it's on His day. And what happens if it falls on a Shabbat?
I would say you would probably still do it, I would think. I mean, it might be able to work, but if you did it on the 9th day, it would be wrong.
Right.
It would be on the 8th day.
Yeah, so a priest would be doing it on the 8th day. Okay, 87, to rest on the 7th day. Doesn't seem like a big thing here. Exodus 23:12.
All right.
It says, 6 days you are to do your work, and on the 7th day you rest, in order that your ox and your donkey might rest, and the son of your female servant and the sojourner be refreshed.
So we've talked about Shabbat a lot, and it says everything rests, right? Your animals rest. Who else rests? What rests?
Everyone, the female servant, the male servant, your workers, animals, family, everyone rests. If you have animals that plow the field, you would take them and you would rest them. You wouldn't work them that day. You'd let them go graze.
Yeah, everything takes a rest. That's the way it should be. Okay, not to do prohibited work on the 7th day. Exodus 20:10.
All right, I'm going to start in verse 9 because it makes a lot more sense. It says, 6 days you labor and shall do all your work, but the 7th day is a Shabbat of Yahuwah your Elohim. You do not do any work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates.
Right, so no work, right? Nobody does anything on the 7th day.
It seems pretty simple, right? Don't do it. There's commands for this and tells you what to do and what not to do on this day.
Yep, no fire on this Sabbath. Exodus 35:3.
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Shabbat.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly, gentlemen, or what do we decipher this as being?
They don't start a fire. I would say a lot like starting a car because there's engines and fire and engines. You wouldn't start
What about your stove?
Right, there's no cooking that day, so there's no reason to start your stove.
Right, you shouldn't be cooking at all, so you shouldn't be doing that. Back in the day, kindling fire was picking up sticks and...
It's probably a lot of work to start a fire. And fire was not a thing that people knew of until the fallen taught them. It was Yahuwah would always send down the fire for his sacrifices for his people to show the sign that was his people and he accepts their sacrifice. But when he showed them how to make fire, there was a bit of a separation between that. Now the priests had to do it instead of Yah sending the fire down.
Yeah, and absolutely that was a great design invention by our Creator and something we did not have until those... pesky Bad boys came, fallen. Okay, last one here. Stay near home and within city bounds on the Shabbat. Exodus 16:29.
See, for that Yahuwah has given you the Shabbat. Therefore it gives you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day.
Okay, so yeah, essentially we're not supposed to. You're not supposed to travel. You're not supposed to go around.
No need to leave your house, guys. It's a rest day.
Yeah,
Nothing outside your house you need to do on that day.
But there are people
that have to do stuff.
There are some people that have to do stuff, but there are also people that want to keep a Sabbath with others. And for those out there, it is very fortunate for us as a family. We have a little ecclesia here, and so it is our own gathering. But for those who are alone or those who are looking for other people to tabernacle with and that you are looking for to keep Shabbat, it's really, really hard because we'll find people with doctrines all over the place, and you'll find people where they think the Son is the Father and the Father is the Son, and there's so many doctrines that we pick up along the way that it's really hard to shake for most people. And so usually you'll find that you can tabernacle yourself individually and keep the Shabbat as our Father has asked us to do. And it might be lonely. It might be a lonely day for you, but you'll get used to it. And at some point you'll like it. And at some point it will help you and it'll help your life. And so we strongly urge that, if you want to get in covenant with our Creator, you start with the Sabbath and start with the Torah. All right, gentlemen. Anything else? Today is a new moon.
Right.
And so what do we do on a new moon?
As commanded, you were supposed to blow the shofar. Okay. It was a sign to us that we need to blow it so that we knew the days and the months correctly to observe his appointed times.
Yes, and so every time that we blow the shofar, we usually have a dog riot, and so we wait until after this to actually blow our shofars. And so as you guys know, we have 10 pit bulls, and they don't like it when you're blowing horns, but we are commanded to blow horns, and so it is a new moon, so
they will blow their horns with us.
Yeah, we'll say our goodbyes now and much love, and once we're done, we're done. All right, folks, ready?